Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. In today's vlog, I will be reading 3 horror books. I don't know, like thrillers is just easy to say, but 3 horror books. Let me show you what I am reading and then we will get into the vlog. The first one is Old Country by Matt Query and Harrison Query. This is for the Pyramid Book Club pick for January. I wanted to put this in a video, so I'm doing that. I'm very excited for this. I know that some people have already read it for the Pyramid Book Club and it does seem to have mixed reviews, so we will see. The next one is Summer Suns by Lee Mandello. I know absolutely nothing about this. I got this for the cover and the cover alone, so I do know that it is horror. And that's about it. I am going in completely not knowing anything, so we'll see. And the next one is the one I am probably most excited for. I was actually going to do like an author spotlight video, but I literally cannot wait to read this anymore. Like, I just cannot. And that is The Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. I recently did a video where I reread Sundial. I will put that up above, and I gave it 5 stars after DNFing it earlier in 2022, 100 pages in. So to say that I am now obsessed with Katrina Ward would be an understatement. And the thing about this one is that I know that I'm supposed to be a little confused. So I will be going in knowing that. And I'm so excited for this one. So these are the 3 books I will be reading for this vlog. Roll the vlog. I am 100 pages into Old Country. I'm liking it so far. I will say it's a slow burn, which is fine. But this couple moves from Colorado to Idaho, like in the middle of nowhere. They just bought a little ranch with 55 acres, and their closest neighbors have told them that there is a spirit that lives with them in the mountains, and that they need to do these things to like ward off the spirit. So in the spring, there is like a light, and as soon as they see the light, they have to light a fire, and then the spirit will go away, and there is a different spirit for every season. So I just got to summer, and summer is supposed to be like a naked man and a bear. So that's all I know so far, 100 pages in. It's definitely interesting. It's dual point of views. It is a good audiobook. It's just a little slow, which we'll see how it goes. It is pretty long, but you know, we'll see. Only 100 pages in. I am 74% into Old Country. This is wild. So there's a lot of wild things happening in this one, but I think I'm in autumn. Nothing happens in winter, so I'm in autumn, and the thing that happens in this one is very interesting, and also one of my most hated tropes is in this, but it's okay because it's horror. But I am definitely liking this. So I don't know, this could be a 5-star. This could be a 5-star. I finished Old Country. I think my last clip I said this could be a 5-star, and I will let you know that it was not a 5-star. It ended up being a 3-star, and that is because I really did not like Harry. I don't know if it was because the authors tried so hard to make him into like this manly man that was just so off-putting for me. And also, I just really did not like the ending. The ending was so stupid and unsatisfying, and I think the story and the 3 or 4 seasons of this spirit was a really, really good idea. I really, really like that, but I think the execution was wrong, especially Harry, and especially the ending. Also, this book had my least favorite trope ever. Even if it was a horror, I still hated that. I hated it. Like, I audibly went ugh when it happened. So 3 stars for Old Country. Definitely not the worst book I have read for the alphabet, for the Pyramid Book Club pick, but definitely also not my favorite. So this is a book and I have read it. So I have been so into this that I have definitely forgotten that I was vlogging about this, but I am 130 pages into The Last House on Needless Street and I am obsessed. It is very hard to describe what is going on in this book because I feel like the way Katrina Ward has written it is that you're kind of supposed to be confused. I don't feel like I'm confused, but I feel like the way that she is writing this, you're like a step behind what is happening. So we're following Ted, and Ted is a little weird. And he has a daughter. And we are also following Dee. Dee's sister went missing when she was a child, and Dee might think that Ted did it. However, we're also following Olivia. Olivia is Ted's cat. Olivia is my favorite character in this book. Olivia is a black cat with like a white stripe down like her chest, and she is very religious, and I am obsessed with this book. I know it like explaining it out loud really does not sound interesting. But the writing is so good, and also this is one of my favorite audiobooks I have listened to ever. They are narrating the shit out of this. It's one narrator for these 3 different perspectives. And sometimes it's hard to tell. Like, I was just on Ted's perspective and then we went over to Olivia, and his voice is just so high pitched for this cat that like it's amazing. So I am obsessed with this. I'm hoping that I can give another update and like tell you some more things about it, but I just feel like it's one of those that I don't know if I can. I have 100 pages left of Needless Street and it's amazing, but I know this is gonna sound stupid. I'm also a little confused. Like, I think I understand what is happening, but also what is happening. It's very like, I'm loving it and also I'm confused at the same time. I finished The Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. This is a very hard book to update on because I felt like almost everything was a spoiler. I did get to a part where things were happening and there were a good 50 pages where I was really confused and honestly almost DNF'd. But I did not DNF and made it to the end, and I'm so glad that I did because I gave this 5 stars, and this is my favorite Katrina Ward that I have read. I have only read Sundial, but this, in my opinion, is better than Sundial. Like, I absolutely love Sundial for how fucking weird it was, but this book was just so smart, like so smart, that it's my favorite book that I've read so far this year. Like, that's how smart it was. I would love to reread this because I feel like I would pick up on what was happening way sooner. But 5 stars for The Last House on Needless Street. I feel like Katrina Ward is up there with one of my favorite writers ever, at least one of my favorite horror writers, and I absolutely love women who write horror, and Katrina Ward just does it so amazingly. Like, she's so smart. Like, this book was just so smart, and I am so sorry that I can't talk about it a lot, but like, I don't want to spoil this, and I went into this not knowing anything, and that is how I suggest, if you want to read The Last House on Needless Street, that you do that. Just go in not knowing anything, and that is the way to do it. So The Last House on Needless Street right now, as of February 13th, is my favorite book of the year. So, way to go, Katrina Ward. So I am like 33 pages into Summer Suns for 3 horror, and I am already not liking it. I think it's the writing. It is like super clunky, and so I normally don't do this, but I was looking at some reviews, and some of my like friends who only read horror are not liking this, so I have decided to try until page 100, which is what I usually do. I feel like that is giving the book a fair chance, And if I end up DNFing this, then I will pick another book for this project because I still want to read 3. And I feel like DNFing might not really count. I like want to actually start to finish read 3 books in the genre. So we'll see. I could tell you what's happening, I guess. So in this book, we're following Andrew and Eddie. They did everything together, and I'm pretty sure it's Eddie, killed himself. And this is supposed to be queer. So, like, that's why I was interested in this in the first place, but it doesn't feel like a horror. It feels like coming of age, which when I was reading YA was like what I really, really, really enjoyed in YA. But now that I have switched over into adult, I find that I don't really like coming of age. Like, I really don't want to read about that anymore. So that's why I feel like besides the clunky ass writing, this could be a DNF. So stay tuned. I am doing something I don't normally do, and I am DNFing Summer Suns like 33 pages in. I can just tell from the writing style that I am not going to connect to this book, and although I appreciate a queer horror, I just don't think this is going to do what I want it to do. I think it's going to be more of a coming of age story, which in my last clip I said that I am no longer interested in. What I want in horror is to be left feeling unsettled, and I have a feeling that I'm not going to feel unsettled by this, so I'm DNFing Summer Suns 33 pages in, which is fine. When I buy books, I always take the risk of not liking that book and not keeping that book. So I'm going to unhaul this. So for 3 horror, since I DNF'd that 0.5% in, I will be reading Ghost Eaters. This was recommended to me by my friend Katie. She literally messaged me and was like, move this up on your TBR. So I'm doing that. I'm moving this up on my TBR right now, and we'll be starting Ghost Eaters. I am over 100 pages into Ghost Eaters. I'm definitely liking it. This is gonna sound stupid, feel weird when men write women, like Stephen King and Riley Sager and all these people. So this author is writing a woman named Erin whose best friend just died of an overdose, and now they are doing a seance to bring him back, and that is where I am 100 pages in. I'm definitely liking it. The audiobook is really good. This cover, I'm looking at it, is literally so creepy. It is so creepy, but I am liking it. It's definitely sad. It hasn't gotten super creepy yet, which is fine. I'm only 100 pages in, but it is super short. Like, I can't believe I'm already 100 pages in. So far my impressions are good. I always think it's weird when men write women because that's, yeah. I finished Ghost Eaters. I finished this in like one day. Like half a day because I could not put it down. I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. This was literally so weird, and I really, really like weird. I have never done acid, but I assume this is what an acid trip feels like. Like, that's how reading it felt like I was just tripping. So 4.5 stars for this. I do put my half stars up, so this is 5 stars on Goodreads. So this is the end of 3 horror. I'm gonna do a wrap up. Okay, so the first book I read for this 2 months ago now was, what is that called? Old Country for the Pyramid Book Club. I will put the discussion down below, but I think I ended up giving that 3 stars. It was okay. I thought the ending was literally so corny because this is probably a spoiler, I'm so sorry, but they defeated the supernatural with love, and I just thought that was cringy. Also, it felt very white saviory, which I did not enjoy. Next, this is my favorite for sure. This is one of my favorites of the whole year, and that is The Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. Going into this, knowing I would be confused really helped, and Lexi told me that, and that really, really helped, but the payoff for this one was everything. I love that we got the perspective of a cat. Like, this book is just so smart, and I just think Katrina Ward is literally a genius. Next is one that I DNF'd 32 pages in, and I'm not afraid to say that, and that is Summer Suns. I don't normally do this, but when I was starting to read it and I knew that the writing style just wasn't for me, I started to look at reviews for this, and apparently this book gets like deep into drag racing, which I personally absolutely do not give a fuck about. And it feels like very bro-y. I love a queer horror, but I just know that this would not work for me. So instead, I picked up Ghost Eaters, which my friend Katie told me to bump up, and I'm glad that she did. I finished this in one afternoon, one day, and absolutely love this. 4.5 stars. I would also go into this one not knowing much. I have his other book, Whispered Down the Lane, that I am going to bump up on my TBR. I believe Katrina from Katrina Brown said it gave off Stranger Things vibes, which is literally all I need to know about any book ever. So this is 3 horror, 3.5, 3 1/4, 3 1/8 horror, and that's it. So thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye.